My parents were both doctors. My older brother matched into cardiology residency at 26. Then there was me. Mediocre grades. No clear passion until a gap year I never told them about landed me an apprenticeship at a tattoo shop. When I got rejected from every medical school I applied to, I panicked. Mom had already framed an engraved stethoscope with my name on it. Dad had told the extended family at Thanksgiving I was following in his footsteps, so I lied. Said a smaller osteopathic school 2 states away had accepted me off a wait list. Not prestigious enough to invite questions, not obscure enough to raise doubt. I rented a cheap studio in that city as my mailing address, but actually stayed with my boyfriend near the tattoo shop where I apprenticed full-time. Money started rough, but within a year I was booked weeks in advance. Every Sunday call, I invented stories about anatomy exams and cadaver labs. Pharmacology is destroying me, I'd say. My actual knowledge coming from whatever I half remembered from high school biology. My mom mailed flashcards for a boards exam that didn't exist. I used the blank backs to sketch flash sheets for clients instead. The worst part was my dad. He started introducing me at hospital fundraisers as my daughter, future surgeon. His chest puffed out every time. Watching his face light up made my stomach twist. When my brother asked pointed clinical questions, I'd claim the call was cutting out. Sorry, you're breaking up, I'll call you back. For 4 years I maintained it. Bought a used anatomy textbook to leave visible during family visits. Invented a fellow med student friend always too swamped with rotations to meet them. Staged photos in scrubs borrowed from a nurse client. Meanwhile, I genuinely loved tattooing. I was good at it. Within 2 years, I had my own chair and a growing client list built entirely on word of mouth. I could take someone's grief, their joy, their worst year, and turn it into something they'd carry proudly forever. The night before my fake white coat ceremony, I couldn't sleep. My parents had booked flights. My brother was flying in from his residency program. They'd reserved a private room at a restaurant for afterward. That morning, I drove to their hotel instead of the ceremony and told them everything. My hands were shaking so badly I knocked over a water glass. My mother didn't speak for a full minute. Then she asked, "Are you in trouble? Money, drugs, something dangerous?" "No," I said. "I'm doing really well. I own my equipment outright. I have savings for the first time in my life." My father looked at me like he didn't recognize me. "Why would you lie about something like this for 4 years?" "Because I didn't want to watch your face when I told you I couldn't get in anywhere," I said. "I didn't want to be the disappointment." My brother surprised me. "So you've been fully supporting yourself this whole time without telling us?" I nodded. He exhaled slowly. "That's honestly more than I can say. Mom and Dad still cover part of my rent during residency. My parents didn't speak to me for almost 3 months. My dad quietly returned the engraved stethoscope he'd bought as a graduation gift. The shift came when my mother's clinic flooded during a pipe failure over a holiday weekend. I drove out immediately, coordinated with a restoration company, and knew a contractor through a longtime client who did the repair work at cost. When my parents came back, my dad asked, stunned, "You handled all of this yourself?" "I run a business," I said. "I deal with contracts, cash flow, difficult people every single day." He nodded slowly, then said something I never expected. "I hated being a doctor for the first 15 years of my career. Stayed because it's what your grandfather expected. I never had the nerve to walk away and build something of my own the way you did." 6 months later, my parents visited the shop for the first time. They watched me work a full session, steady hands, calm client, the owner treating me like family instead of an employee. At the end of the day, my mother hugged me and said, "I wish you'd told us years ago, but I've genuinely never seen you this confident about anything." Last month, I bought out my mentor's share and became full owner of the studio. At a small dinner to celebrate, my dad handed me a gift, a framed print that read, "World's Best Artist," instead of the stethoscope photo he once had made. Turns out my biggest lie led me straight to the most honest version of my life, and now I talk about what I do with pride instead of pretending it into something else.